Even the equalizer can work as like pseudo-engage or even poke for this particular team, just because otherwise it's Showmaker fishing for charms. You know, it's the culling from aiming, but outside of that, not really too much else is going to be there.
Oh, Showmaker's just hit 6.
Yeah, and is actually going to land the charm there as well. So Vikla going to get electrocuted. I don't know whether the doggo going to quite get in here in time, down to 21 health, but of course, no one there to contest. As now Raptor does get daggered momentarily. There's the flash over from Beryl. Doesn't quite find the Q flash though.
It's going to be really important here.
Yep, Clear has found Shiu as well. He's looking to try and push this Rumble away. Equalizer in range of anyone right now. So the Winter's Bite is going to connect. There is the culling onto Kellen. He's taking a fair bit of damage. The flash does come through as Clear finally throws down that Equalizer. Not exactly doing too much, splitting up the fight here, but DK just biding their time. Shape Splitter comes on through as now Showmaker looking for that engage angle. Finds the charm as there's the public execution. Shiu though, getting a bit of a shield back, but still in trouble. He's gonna have to flash away. And now it's Lucid that's gonna have to try and get out of here. He flashes, uses absolutely everything. And Beryl, I don't think he's gonna quite be able to hold the door enough as there is First Blood going over to the Rumble. I think the vision here is decent for DK. Same can be said for BNK, but Showmaker with that Spirit Rush at the ready. Beryl loping his way over. That is a charm going to miss, but still a lot of damage onto Raptor. Back towards the Dragon now as Lucid. Don't think he's getting in there, and he isn't going to be able to lock that one down. Hextech Soul this game is kind of nutty. It's a lot of extra power as now Diablo, bit of a late Arcane Shift. Would have been able to buffer with it, but not going to get hit by the charm anyway, so.
Yeah, it's one of those things where the ult, it looks like, well, you can't dash if there's no target, but you get a brief CC immunity when you cast it. So use that to try and avoid the ult. And then it also gives you a proc or passive to get a dash. So even though it's not like a Yone where you can just ult into the void and get away.
Going to be working out here is aiming at 50%, but they're just looking to kill Diablo. Let's see whether they can take him down as, yeah, he's dead. That's aiming, locking down that kill. The Gold King going to pick that one up. Raptor trying to get in there and stop the rest of the team from backing up this Nefiri. Beryl shows them the door, gets the heal out, and True Shot Barrage going to finish him off. Really nice aim there from Diablo as BNK realizing with the man advantage, they should be able to take this, and it's so sad here for Lucid. Still he's able to lock it down, but that eye is just going to look around for a while and disappear. So no Shelly this game. So sad.
Yeah, unfortunate one there, 4D+. Now, the smite's good from Lucid, but they lose the blue buff for it. They're losing control. Maybe even threat of a this is a hard dive to pull off. Yeah, the wave's just got deleted. Oh, they're still going.
Yep, there's the Pop Blossom to come in, but it's going to hit absolutely no one. Kellen goes down first there as the second kill comes in for DK. And Shiu towards that top side, if he's facing off against Vikla, is a pretty comfortable way of interrupting, as that is an ulti forward here from Showmaker, and Clear, remember, doesn't have the flash, and so he's going to be taken down. Lucid now able to flash away, but the flash to follow there from Kellen is so good. Still, it's not enough. Lucid just dashes away, and down goes the Wukong. Shield comes in from Lucid, and he's over the wall yet again. It's a decent seismic shove there, but Vikla is going to get stunned up by Beryl, and that's just a fake Nico, because Lucid just comes back in, gets back into it, and dies. It's not exactly great. Seismic Shove almost gets a double there for Vikla, but in the end, DK do find the victory.
Paper favored towards D+ in terms of you got those 3 kills. Great setup coming out from Showmaker, punishing the lack of flash on Clear, and Lucid gets a big influx of gold. We're able to get back in time and get control of the Dragon, so that's big. Hard to say what was going to happen with Lucid's death being so late, but BNK Freecs not opting into it. And D+, you know, the kills in favor of them, the fact they secure the Dragon in the back end, definitely good for them in this game.
Yeah, feels like it holds it a little bit more equal, rather than giving them a big advantage, especially with this tower falling down towards the top side of the map shrinking here.
Which is, you know, if you're the team who only has...
Oh dear. Kellen going to get stunned up. There is the ulti from Beryl just to make sure of it. Down he will go. Diablo going to get attacked here by Lucid once more. Himself alive, but now Shiu is the one that's in the furnace. Still okay. Lucid uses absolutely everything in order to get out, but he will do so. And he's even got Hex Gates. That's the ridiculous thing about this Rift, is that the punishment isn't actually that high. Even with 10 seconds left on this Dragon, he should be able to get back here pretty quickly.
Yep, and the Cyclone now down is a big cost for BNK Freecs. They did hold on to the Equalizer, though. We'll see if they can still get that same value without that tool in this fight.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Shiwu.
Yeah, looking for the flank angle. Let's see whether this public execution is going to come on through. The rocks go down. now DK pretty happy with their positioning. Raptor gets into the pit. Shiu's still looking for that flank angle as he sweeps out onto clear. Kellen just searching for a little bit of an angle. There's the culling to soften them up from aiming. Nicely done. Seismic shove is good onto Lucid, but he goes on target for Pop Blossom's fantastic. The Drake gets taken down, but Kellen's also dead. Aiming is going nuts as he flashes on top of Vikla, and that is the Rumble going down, and now the kills are starting to fly in. The resets are working out as Diablo standing his ground. His health bar is so high. Shiu is going to try and punish him, but he gets the triple. Is it Penta time as the charm is going to connect? Orbit Deception comes down, but over he goes, and there it is. Showmaker though, can he actually win out as Diablo? He's just waiting for an E. The jump comes through and he misses the Q. Doesn't push further forward.
That clean and controlled, and if Diablo doesn't clutch the fight, we could have been looking at a big gold deficit and 2 dragons apiece. So BNK Freecs, the smite from Raptor, and Diablo's play in that fight, and even moments like Vikla's Unraveled Earth coming through for the stuns.
Hold the door. Is Vikla going to get missed by the Winter's Bite? Wall comes up, but this is going down so quickly. Exactly. True Shot Barrage comes through. Aiming takes most of his health bar, but there is no jungler in sight. So that is just Otacon taken. It's highway robbery as Beryl, he might be sacrificed. Remember, there's no outer turret here. Looks like DK, the majority of them are just going to be able to get out. Flash is going to be employed there by Beryl, but I think you'll take that in trade as now Clear could be in trouble. Charm going to connect, and the culling will cut down the Rumble. Now Warrior Trickster has to be used by Raptor to get himself out of there as they're taking Hex Gates. They're looking to close in as now Diablo's in trouble. Pop Blossom to try and peel, but this time Aiming is actually playing with his brain attached, so he's able to take down the Ezreal. And DK looking for even more. The ulti's going to clip him, and Raptor walks back towards DK because Showmaker persuaded him to. And this is the DK that we've been waiting to see. They're going to look for a Baron as well, and they get to work on that while the last kill is going down. Powerful soul and a whole lot of power here, but they don't necessarily need to fight for this right now.
Yeah, it's gone.
As Shiu is looking for the flank angle. Beryl now wanting to find a way in as well, as Shiu staying in the fog of war where he can. Shape Splitter now on cooldown. Shiu's still just corralling them and gets into the backline there as Pop Blossom lands onto the rest. They're going to try and turn onto Shiu as everyone dives towards Aiming, but he's able to dash his way out. Vikla's in trouble. Showmaker looking to put him down, and there are the kills streaming through. It was that quadra kill for Diablo, and then everything fell off a cliff. DK will be able to push further forward, and we'll see what more they can get.
Feels like in this fight, D+ knew the main threat, the main carry is this Ezreal. Didn't let him play the game. You saw she will connect with the public execution, and then immediately Lucid following up afterwards to take him down. And this game went from so hopeful for BNK Freecs in the early game, a mid-game which was a bit messier, but still you saw an opportunity for them to win this with those dragons stacking up, and then D+ convincingly looked to put the nails in the coffin. They won't end the game right now, but with a 10,000 gold lead, a 25 stack Medjai's on Showmaker.
And one of the great things here, if you're looking over the other side of the rift, is this gentleman right here. He's going to get shoved. It's the Caster Curse that was preemptive, unfortunately for me, but maybe it was a bait all along as the flash out. No equalizer going to get any joy onto Showmaker, as now the public execution into the backline. The seismic shot going to miss because he's got so many dashes, and Aiming with the culling is doing exactly that. Clear trying to do what he can, but it is not going to work as Lucid looks for the quadra. Is it going to be his turn for a pentakill? I guess it is, as he dashes on top. We were denied one penta, but at least we got another, as the doggo is looking real happy as he wags his tail all the way to the Nexus.
Lucid nearly leaping out of his chair on that one with how excited he was to get the penta. BNK Freecs trying to make a pick on a Showmaker, ends up backfiring. And D+ slam that game to an end. So not the easiest early game to play, but I think overall D+'s comp has a lot of strength. Their mid-jungle phenomenal, their support phenomenal. The Jax matchup I like. It's only the Zeri I'm a bit like, eh. But BNK Freecs, again, very much testing that 100% win rate that Vikla has on the rise.
And there wasn't. That was banned in both games, in fact. First round of bans this time around. DK getting rid of it, as Lucid is going to find Kellen, who doesn't have his anchor available. Does have Aftershock though.
Whoa!
Does get the anchor back. I'm not sure about that one. Beryl says, that's your sin. Not going to be too much of a worry as now Diablo gets in there as Vikla turns up. First blood is going to be collected. Maybe that 100% win rate is going to work out as he's starting this game with a double kill.
Great Realm Orb coming through. I didn't catch it initially that they were going for it. When Kellen went in, I was very caught off guard, and I think D+ was too.
Absolutely.
In that situation, she was getting some good damage on a clear.
Yeah, the Empower coming on through there as the Grandmaster's Might comes down. Leap Strike coming through, so the Flash does get the Flash out from Clear as well. So some top lane dominance. Kellen finding yet another one as Showmaker with the Emperor's Divide lands only onto Vikla as they will be able to put him down. Lucid getting a bunch of his health back as finally Diablo's going to turn up, but Aiming is looking for a certification and Raptor is the one that has the documents. There it is, the double immediately in response for Aiming, and what was looking good for B&K immediately looks not as good. Beryl is going to move in, gets information that these are being taken, but you can see Lucid nowhere in sight. Does have Grand Starfall if they do want to go for a denial on some of these. But it looks like he is just going to focus on his jungle. And they managed to win without any grubs last time. Maybe that's going to be the opportunity this time as well. As in the meantime, we can see there is a Jax in the bottom lane just pelting a turret with a lamppost.
Yeah, he does pretty good at that.
Yeah, that's
Plates picked up. Of course, Vikla has Realm Warp here, by the way.
Yeah, Hook going to come on through as Beryl finding a Pulverize, but maybe a little bit too early as he does send Raptor back. Does get stunned up, but Aiming underneath his turret, he will survive, and Beryl not quite as lucky. Yeah. Diablo picking up the kill, couple of assists. He's got a BF sword as well. That is a lot better than the long one. As, okay, Vikla is just going to Realm Warp his way out. He knows there is not a lot of CC left, but still the flash forward from Lucid. And yeah, you can Realm Warp out, but you're going to have to go further than that if you want to escape this duo.
Some stats got posted about the rates of like Flash versus Flash.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to hold this though, because there might be a fight.
It could be. We'll see whether Beryl pulls the trigger. We'll see when Beryl pulls the trigger is, I guess, what we were talking about. As the Impale brings Lucid in, but he doesn't seem too worried about it. He just smites away the dragon. Double Pulverize there from Beryl as they're getting thrown around like ragdolls, but Aiming is untouched. Emperor's Divide finds two, and they're pushed into the blender that looks like Zeri. Kellen will be able to find himself a dredge line, but Aiming finds a whole bunch of kills. 4, 1, and 2 now. 007 is Showmaker, and he even has a suit on.
Had like the rate between different regions, and you know Korea.
Oh well, we're just gonna have to hold that thought momentarily as there's a Realm Warp coming in as well. Lucid is very, very dead. The cavalry will arrive, and the rest of DK not quite able to rotate over fast enough.
Focused on that.
That's okay.
My bad.
At least we get double tech souls in this series, as Beryl is gonna get hooked. And then it's a bit of an and what situation here, as maybe he's going to have to get out of the way. He does not, as in fact Aiming getting engaged on. He skates over the wall. Beryl with the unbreakable will. Maybe it should be a bit breakable, as never mind. Nope, he's just now fighting Raptor, as this cow is unkillable. It's a double kill in for Lucid. Vikla is now fighting against the Pantheon. Maybe he likes those odds, never mind. He's going to be shown the big old shield. It's a triple that comes on through, and that is going to be the Rift Herald and possibly more here as Aiming getting to work on the mid-outer turret.
He's like, I can finish him off. You know, gets the Blade Caller, the heal comes through. Oh no.
Oh, Shiu? Wait. Will he find it here as Aiming dashes over the wall? Clear knows that he has to try and take Shiu with him, and he's not going to be able to do so. Turret going to get tanked, and that denies the assist or kill from Aiming. Series before could have created some history, and B&K going to have to go for a crazy comeback if they're going to make it work, and oh god, it's not looking like it's starting here, as Lucid will dive on top of Diablo. Nowhere for him to go. Didn't have the Feather Storm, didn't have a hope. And now Aiming, looking to try and get on in here as Raptor able to flash himself out, but if you're just getting away from the corpse of your AD carry, you know things are not looking good.
Guys, Lucid is 7-1.
Huh.
My favorite player, Lucid, is 7-1.
He's going so well. It's like it must be your birthday or something. As in they go, Pulverize going to connect. It's a double knock-up as Aiming is going ballistic. Clear gonna have to try and dash away. Does have some needlework, but Aiming is now driving a Rift Herald. He's spinning around in circles. Oh, that was a bit cute, but he crashes into the wall, so never mind. Second dragon.
Any other notable birthdays? In fact, if you know of any notable birthdays, you should definitely tweet at us.
Yeah, definitely post it in chat if you know whether there's somebody else's birthday here today.
And maybe someone, okay, I'll keep it, because obviously there's a lot of people in the world, a lot of people have birthdays, but LCK, at least LCK adjacent, it may be someone's birthday.
You're really narrowing it down. It's not like there's often birthdays.
Well, I narrowed it down from everyone in the world to LCK adjacent.
Like, it doesn't actually even matter. The fact that Showmaker can just keep them at arm's length with the Emperor's Divide. Kellen goes in to die, and he is going to get his wish.
I think it's a little bit define this game.
He did.
I'm not just going to let anyone else play it.
That's where he draws the line, though. If you start talking ill of some of the games that he has quite enjoyed, that's when, like, see how, like, normally he's very, very good, and everything's just fine. And you can say all you want about Lucid fandom and stuff like that, but if you say things about some games, it can be a problem.
They have 47 petals.
That's a lot of petals.
That's the most, I swear that's the most I've seen in an LCK game. You know what? Some of the teams, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be critical. Some of the teams, I will see them walk by the petals.
Which teams? I want to compare it.
I saw Ruler do it. Free stats, he's on that. But, coming in.
Yeah, aiming is now in a precarious position, but the cavalry is turning up, and so is Lucid, as he will be able to get a Featherstorm here, and Kellen not going to quite find the Pantheon with the anchor. Still, Diablo's able to kite him out, gets the pullback, and now Clear is fighting against aiming and barrel. I don't know whether Clear likes those odds, but he gets the flash. And B&K, honestly, this is the best fight they could have hoped for. It's even, at least for now, as Shiu says, no, it's not. Showmaker's going to be able to pick up that kill. Shiu just going to bonk them with his lamposters. Raptor not able to get over the wall, and he's just going to get flung back. He knew that that was going to happen, as he realized also that he had no hope other than to give it a good old crack. As Extendo Beam, not quite enough, but Showmaker gets over there. Rune Prison, it's not somewhere that Showmaker cannot escape from.
It's like a second and a half, we're like, hey, this isn't completely awful, and then it did. D+, Vikla really wants to keep that 100% win rate on Rise. And honestly, I'm ready to believe if he wins this game, because...
Oh yeah, I don't think he's ever going to lose if he manages to win this game.
Yeah, I think there are unprecedented levels of power.
Yep, maybe it's time for another hair bet, as Pulverize does come on through. Beryl just going to be corralling them, and Lucid dives into that backline. He knows his target, but Diablo's going to survive for quite some time. Raptor not so lucky as she win that front line. Oh my goodness, that Q almost able to cut down Diablo, but he does stay standing. Over the wall goes Shiu now, and Vikla is not going to be able to offer enough damage back as the Seraphs comes on through. He does go golden to keep himself alive, but he will be going down in the end. And Diablo on the fountain getting his health back, but he turns back up to everything being on fire as the first inhibitor of the game will go down. 24 minutes. Not even with a Baron on the map. Yep.
His ult runs out. He doesn't change his play at all. He's still running in.
Gets a good old shield there from his locket. Take down this tower. Maybe it's a Shiu POM, because that was kind of silly. The fact that 4 people just wasted their time and now their base is going to get traded for not even a Jax.
I genuinely think anyone on the top side is a valid POM.
Yep.
I really think they all are. Chronicler's probably going to go for Lucid because, you know, he wants to try and...
Yeah, he's got some ground to cover, I think.
Yeah.
As Raptor is going to pick up Beryl, and Beryl says that he does not care about it. Yeah, not going to be able to impale all of them. And even after that, not a lot of celebration. Lucid just kind of scratching his head. Lucid getting to work there. And
it's tough, actually, because Shiu had those great ults on Ambassador in the last game towards the end.
Yeah, right? I actually feel like there is an argument for Shiu as well.
I think there's an argument for all 3.
Yeah.
And that's no shade to aiming a Beryl.
Need to get that vote in, man.
Maybe he could convince Mal the lesser Lucid.
Look at Beryl starting this fight. There's no one even to follow up, but he's still there. He's so dedicated to starting the fight. As Kellen's going to go down, and now Beryl's actually just going to murder Diablo. He does Featherstorm, but he comes down into a furnace, and he will be taken out. That is going to be a triple here for aiming, who wants to get his own pentakill. Let's see whether he can get it as Showmaker serves Raptor up on a silver platter. There's the quadra kill, and Vikla is like, my 100% win rate, you are not getting a penta.
He bought his onions when he bought his onions.
Oh no, is he going to go golden? The answer is no, and it's a pentakill once again. First it's Lucid, then it's aiming, and they'll win the series.
I do think that Rakan was a mistake, though, because it felt like they were trying to deny it, but you want them to play Rakan into Talia. They should have just gone the Alistar. I think it would have been the better pickup.
Oh, right, and then just, like, baited Duro into playing it themselves.
Yeah. Chillin', it's not that, you know.
Well, Canyon is moving in, but we got to fight on the top side of the map as well. Dudu dashing around like a madman. As Canyon doesn't find the rock, Chovy is looking to get up here as well, as there's the public execution. And Dudu just grabs first blood. That's a solo kill. Hope that he doesn't die or anything like that, but if he's a little bit behind, he's still a Zeri. Just takes one skirmish and he can get out of control. And now DN Freecs, they have first roam to kind of everything.
Yeah, we see GenG all looking to contest this. There's a 3v3 with the top lane starting to move.
Yeah, Canyon goes in though. Seismic shove is good there from Bulldog as he's just getting thrown around. The Impale is decent. As Pyosik there with the Crescent Guard doesn't have a whole lot of defense, but he audaciously charges away. Keen trying to be immune and does get that sniff to take down the Xin Zhao. Another phenomenal shove though, and the public execution, but the pulverize from Duro, he's just saving the fight for GenG! And Bulldog almost slammed into the wall. It was almost even worse. As the DN Freecs can't make it happen, Berserker trying to fight back against Ruler, and Ruler barely even noticing from what we can see here.
It's absurd to me that GenG won that fight.
It feels illegal.
Going into it, you had level 6 for life over Duro. That should have been a one fight, and I think just poor target selection really cost them there.
Yeah, feels a little bit like the nameplate situation becoming a bit of a problem here, but Dudu was their 1 point of power, and now Canyon's going to turn up, and Keen just going to put him in his circle and cut him down. There goes the Ambessa one more time, and it's a killing spree now for Keen. Okay, so gets solo killed, turns that into, I'm a bit angry, I've got a bounty of 220 gold, and very close to completing his first item.
Yeah, I mean, this is not the sort of Gwen you want to be dealing with.
But it was. It used to be. You know?
Once upon a time.
Yeah, everything was going great. I feel like we're back in the B&K series where you've got Vikla getting a double kill on his undefeated rise, and then everything falls apart. And it's happened at about the same cadence here in the next matchup.
Yeah.
Because GenG have a 2,000 gold lead here at 10.5 minutes. Like, that's silly.
That I had for the PlayStation, and they were both, I played them so much.
Yeah. I played the first one. I played the first one so much. I think I played it on GameCube. It got re-released, so I bought it on Switch as well.
Oh man, I remember you could like upgrade. You know, you could win new pods. You could also like buy upgrades for it.
Yep.
You
it was like an RPG.
The repair droids you could get. Oh man.
And you could make them so fast that half the game was unplayable.
Yes.
You just couldn't turn. Oh, it was very good. The boost was absurd in that game. Anyway, we are focusing on something else. There is a quickness coming on in. Keen is just dead. Great seismic shove there from Bulldog. No notes. As the DN Freecs just grabbed themselves a pick now, and it looks like a bigger crab that has just spawned might go over to them as well. Yeah. Still, like, they have all of the control ever.
No TP for Bulldog, and even if you did, I'm not sure you want to fight this. I think just letting Dudu have some pressure on the bot side. I don't think he can take this turret right now, but he was getting some good damage onto it.
I still think the DNF are making the right choices, right? They're not over-pressing. They're seeing whether GenG are going to get a bit complacent, right? So they're keeping their eye on him. He's like, no, I'm not afraid.
Well, I mean, we did see... No, there'd be spoilers for Arcane, as we know. Some people haven't seen Arcane Season 2.
Oh, that's true, but I don't think he's ever going to see it. He's a hater.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, man, I feel like he's catching strays all over the place. But why does he have... Like, he's the one. Like, sorry.
It's not my fault he didn't watch Arcane.
Yeah. That's all right. Headbutt pole onto Dudu here. Chovy distracted by an inner turret. Duro just keeping him interested as they do just take this one down. Pyosik will be able to get the second dragon, and it's a Cloud Soul, baby. Duro going to go down, and GenG is still pushing here towards his bottom side as well. As all right, public execution onto Chovy, but Duro's going to turn up, and he's just dead.
Yeah.
Duro was quite recently there.
Yeah, he's already pretty ahead, but...
I also can't believe I just objectified Alistair there.
Yeah, that was pretty... Just because he's an animal doesn't mean he's not...
He is still an object, but it still felt rude. As Pyosik tried to take the Raptors away from Canyon. Canyon going to get ulted away, and the smite is going to come on through, but Canyon can drive through that one. There's the flash at the same time. It's a scary Skarner, and he just picks up the Xin Zhao, who cannot do anything. He used everything to try and escape. And he still had the ulti. And so now Canyon is just going to come on over and continue the work Keen has put in onto this Arakan.
You may think, right, well, of course Canyon's going to try so hard to get him. He gets a kill. They get the Arakan off it. Actually, the reason he went for that is he wanted the hard seal stack. He's now got an extra 20 from when we previously checked in. 38.
That's power right there. All right, teleport going to bring the Ambessa in. GenG starting this one up, not wanting to give away Soul Point. And Canyon... very, very strong. It's like super tanky right now. Duro looking for a flank angle, as is Kane. And GenG all the while just sticking onto this dragon. Okay, headbutt does pull Pyosik around, but that is still going to be secure by Canyon. Dudu in that backline. Keen just fighting everyone he can find. And Chovy now just going to use the seismic shove, it feels like, to close the distance. Bulldog going to be flashing away, though. Keen trying to dash away, and Berserker goes too far forward, baited by the low health bars. And DNF not going to be able to fight anymore. Public execution going to be a little bit of a public flub there from Dudu. And Chovy just going to finish off this turret. GenG continuing to push forward. There's Ruler now just saying, enough with this silliness. It's time to die.
Canyon looking for another Heartsteel stack. And I guess a kill too.
It's all about the Heartsteel stacks. You can tell that Orcs is a ARAM gamer.
Yeah.
Which is what he's going to have to go back to playing now that Arena is gone.
Oh, don't remind... How?
Sorry. As Dudu is possibly dead, but he does have good old shielding and dashing and all that stuff.
And you can see after that, Canyon kind of lost a little bit of interest, and then you see Ruler's like, no, give me the kill, please. And he's like,
Well, Duro is going... Oh, never mind. In comes Canyon now. Let's see whether they can actually kill him as Duro is taking them for a merry ride. Finally flashes. Headbutt comes in. Pulverize not going to connect, though, because Dudu is just able to dash all the time forever. And he's still going, he's still going. He's got the movement speed from the Cloud Rift.
And has the ult for backup, doesn't need it.
Yep, that's Ruler who's just kind of done with it as, okay, Ruler might be done with being on the Rift right now, but he does use the Feather Stomp, creates the distance, and holds the recall. Oh man, Life is so close to dead as well, as there's the crash. Bulldog gonna go down, and that's a double.
You know what's the saddest thing about Skarner?
What's that?
Is when you ult them.
Oh god, Life is trying to work out what he needs to do there, and he just came up with nothing.
When you ult them, you can't auto them, right? Because you're locked in to the animation. So both of them had Heartsteel stacks, and Canyon's just staring at them, not able to take them. Ruler takes the kill.
No.
He has the Infinity Edge now. He's doing so much damage, and
I mean, at least he has 104 now. That's a decent number. As it's 25 minutes into the game, and Gen.G are thinking that maybe that's enough time spent in the game. As they have a 12,000 gold lead. The Nexus turrets are going to go down. We felt like, as far as the draft was concerned, maybe there was a chance, but as it turned out, the first place team is performing a little bit better here in the LCK than the 10th place team. Game 1 going over to Gen.G.
Like, yes, you can block things, but it doesn't really help with getting on top of these sort of mobile, longer range picks.
You do have Engage Scion, so you don't need to worry about Engage Braum. It's not really a thing. As Pyoshik, he's actually spotted here, as the Rel also pops out of the fog of war. Now going to go for the flash engage! Pyoshik, no chance! Although, he's able to get the Warrior Trickster off, gets himself out of there. Life might be in trouble as Ruler is going to dash forward, but it is just going to be Gen.G saying thanks for the leash. And True Shot Barrage just to make sure that there's no one hiding in the shadows. I'm trying to remember. It's one of the Noxian bad guys.
I don't know, and also, it's hard to know, right?
Well, like, what is even true anymore?
Yeah, they changed a few things recently.
Well, Life is just going to wander in and just show Canyon the chimney. Canyon says, do you have Smite, though? And he says no.
Because wasn't it, didn't Jason Victor originally make Blitzcrank, but that's not a thing anymore? Or maybe it is, or I don't...
They might have made him in a different dimension.
You know what? I used to know what the lore was, and then they kept changing the lore, and now I don't know what the lore is anymore.
Grubs went over to Gen.G, but there's at least one grub for the DN Freecs.
Yeah.
And there is a Hex Flash, because Duro can. Shattering Strike's pretty good there as well. As the dash forward, crash down is good. As Trisha Barrage comes in, Arcane Shift actually picks up the kill. That is novel. And Life is also now dead. Yep, that's the kill going on over. So a double kill in 2v2, not too bad there for Ruler and Duro. As Keen getting pushed away, he might be dead, does manage to surge himself back up to some health and then just pounces his way out. Pyoshik now is going to die as Canyon throws the ulti in, and Dudu not going to have the damage to stop him. And he's just pretty sticky on this doggo. Still the turret not going to be enough for, not going to be something that Canyon can fight against. Bulldog gets a plate, but it is, I spoke too soon. Yeah. But not anymore.
Yeah.
Look, there's a cannon.
There's a cannon.
There's a pedal.
Oh, he's not going to be able to get there in time. He can't TP to pick it up.
Keen, get the pedal. We can see it on the minimap. He gets the pedal. Gorgeous.
Nice.
Look at that. All right, guys. And you know what? He'll get there. Charm comes on through. Trophy picks up turret aggro. And Duru's coming on in. If this doesn't work, then you just invite the metal horse. And Dudu goes down.
Oh, wait.
Oh, Duro is going to get taken out. It's a 1-for-1. And Dudu is a happy zombie.
I think Canyon getting aggro there would have been optimal, since you can drop it with a W, but also he has Shojin. He's actually pretty tanky already for an Theory.
Acidity upgraded somewhat now as well. And he's going to be able to take down the first turret. So theoretically, a full monopoly on the feats, but we don't see the first turret one going on over. I kind of would like it if you still saw it. Even though feats of strength are done. Like, I hate that it sort of stops counting them. Because I like knowing who gets the first turret, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. So
You won.
Yeah, no, that's my bad. I don't want to be greedy. All right, crash down onto life as the door is there, but he can't put it all around him, unfortunately, and so he's just dead. Ruler going to be able to pick that one up, taking down his former teammate. The entire map belongs to Gen.G is what it kind of feels like right now. 4,000 gold plus is actually the lead, and there are bounties up already. Yeah, it feels like the game wasn't that doomed and then became really doomed.
Yeah.
What's happening? We didn't know that.
Oh, Reptile's gonna go in, big slam. We'll see if they can get another charge.
Oh, beautiful stuff.
Oh, Charm comes through. It is shield up Rom, so a bit of a struggle, but more damage coming in. Will jump away and survive that. Ult comes in from Kyoshik. Manju gets some damage down, but a disengage from Gen.G keeps him safe.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to stop you there. He's a little too talented, ladies and gentlemen. Does have Bulldog alongside him. See whether they can get themselves some of this bounty gold. It looks like Keen will be giving this one up. And Chovy, only a Sun Disc to deal with there towards the bottom side. Ocean Soul, not exactly the most pivotal, as Duro realizing that he has to get the heck out of there, but Concussive Blow's not going to work out. And Ruler just denying as much farm as he possibly can as he takes down an inner turret. Emperor's Divide finds the air.
You know, you miss every shot you don't take.
Yeah, and you miss the ones you miss as well. Did you know that?
Man, the DM Freecs need to be hitting some shots.
It's like the word hacker is just kind of annoying now.
Yeah.
Because I was watching there's a film recently came out. It's got a lot of incredible actors in it, done by the same people that did Kingsman. And I think they say hacker in that. I'm like, it just feels weird.
Yeah.
The word hacker right now.
Oh, but then they're going to do that thing they did with the zombie films.
Yeah.
Where they don't want to say hacker, so they say adjacent
something.
with.
Yeah, okay. We've got a team fight. That's a nice Magnus Storm here from Duro. Shattering Strike, a lot of value. No one dead just yet, but in and out goes Gen.G. As True Shot Barrage doesn't find the mark. Canyon is just going to cut them down, though, and my God, the blender that is Gen.G is pretty frightening. And it's not even like good news for Dudu, who's outside of the fight. He's dealing with Keen this whole time.
Kind of just decimated them. Yeah, Dudu, he's just having his own little time against Italy. Not too fun, but more fun than the rest of DNF are having. Yeah, they did that with zombie films. I think the Mafia got a little... Oh!
Okay, there's a crash. All right, King gonna get knocked up. Remember, he can just pounce away.
Yeah.
At any time.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he does. Dudu could have flashed after him, but he didn't know it was there.
Get the follow, and also Keen has flashed, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the market got a little oversaturated. You know, they use that, that'd be peak, honestly.
What about E-Detective? We're gonna need an E-Detective for this one. It's Veronica Mars's daughter that's going to do it. Veronica Mars, fantastic show, but definitely is a little bit older, and it probably would be an E-Detective that they'd need now as Chovy over the wall. A bit of a jump scare there for Life, who is just dead, ladies and gentlemen.
Interesting, his name is Life, and yet he has the most deaths. Don't worry, I'll be there in a second.
Well, he gets a shield, look at that. Perfectly utilized the shield to absorb Ruler's damage.
He does have an unending despair. Like, the healing value you get from that would be pretty good if the fights went over in 3 seconds.
Yeah. All right, well, there's a flanking teleport from Italy. I don't know necessarily what that means. But with the amount of money Gen.G has, probably not great things for DNF. As Life, okay, avoiding a fair bit, but will get charmed up. There's Orbit Deception there as well as Canyon and Keen. Oh, the cats and dogs are so incredibly frightening. There's the first kill, and there's a whole bunch more as Ruler is just going ballistic. The doggo as well. Dudu is trying to run away. He liked it more when it was the 1v1 against the Italy in a side lane. As he's like, yeah, is this what's been happening around the rest of the map? Oh dear.
This is just pristine top lane experience. You get counterpicked by a ranged top laner that you can only describe as cringe. After playing your lane out as best you can, trying to pick up some farm, you realize the rest of your team is a combined 0-13. And the game is just over.
It definitely is just over. I think, is it Kion that came up with Firewall Tickler as a hacker name?
Lord of the Pings is
Lord of the Ping. Digital Locksmith feels a bit real. Actually really like that. Kion, that's some good stuff.
We should pitch this.
Charm gonna come on through. Emperor's Divide doesn't do enough because the Nexus explodes.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.